Good morning. On behalf of the South Asian International Association for ECCD, I would like to warmly welcome Ms. Archana Burman from India. Welcome, Madam. So, with the consultancy of Honorable Dinesh Gundawardena, Minister of Education, Sri Lanka, we planned a summit in June, the South Asian Educational Summit 2022. So it will be held from 18th to 20th June in Colombo, Sri Lanka. So this discussion is just another discussion from the series of discussions we planned ahead with this summit plan in June. So I take this an opportunity to invite all 7 countries to join in hand with us for the summit plan in June. So for today's discussion, our aim is to discuss about the importance of spoken English. So we all know that, like especially as Sri Lankans, we have a lot of issues when it comes to spoken English. And I know most of the Asians also, like the region, as a region also we are facing a lot of issues when it comes to spoken English. So I guess like we can discuss about all of these through this discussion. And so to start with, I would like to ask Ms. Archana the difference between spoken English and written English.
Good morning, Sri Lanka, and thank you. It's my honor to, be participants in this forum. Thank you, Kamalji, and thank you all. The question is, what is the difference between spoken English and written English? You know, the kind of written English we write, it's since our school, we learned that how to write properly in English. It's basically a very formal language, and for writing letters and any kind of official things, we use written language. But the spoken English is very casual, means suppose if I ask you, hi, how are you? That is a spoken English. But when we will write, we have to write, hi, hope you are in a pink of health. So when we talk, we definitely use all this kind of a language. It's a very, very formal language. So for spoken English, it's not particularly grammar has to be perfect or something like that. Spoken English can be very informal, very casual. So that's the basic difference between spoken English and written English. And for written English, people has to have the knowledge. But for spoken English, specifically for the country like Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh, our native language is not English. So most of the time, whose upbringing is not in English culture, so for them, it becomes very difficult to, start the communication in English. So for that, we need a confidence. So that's the biggest part in spoken English. For written English, if we have the knowledge of English grammar and all these things, we can easily, work on written English.
Thank you, Ms. Archana. Why spoken English is important? What benefits does a child get by proper usage of English, or maybe by being fluent in English speaking?
Okay. First of all, English is a global language. Now almost more than 90 countries, English is an official language. So when child is growing up, definitely they will go to abroad, or even in his or her country, they have to use for their higher studies, or maybe for their job purpose or business purpose. It is a must know language, because for official language, we have to know the language. It is not, we are working in a corporate and we don't know English. It is very difficult. Or maybe the child will go for a higher study and then they don't know English properly. So it is mandatory to know English properly, and specifically for spoken English, because they have to communicate, they have to converse well. So for that, spoken English, I think it is a must in today's world.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Archana. Now, I believe like for the lack of fluency in English among most of the Asians, especially, or as most children in most of the developing countries, the reason is the fear. They're really afraid to speak in English. Like they think like, what if I made a mistake? So they're really afraid to speak in English. So why do you think they're afraid of speaking in English?
Ma'am, first of all, afraid of speaking English because we are not very confident. What happened, when we talk in our mother language, it is with since our birth, we are hearing that language. Our parents talk in that language. Our friends are talking to that language. Our upbringings in that family. So whatever we hear, we learn. It is absolutely all for throughout the countries. So for the child who is not accustomed with speaking spoken English in house, they start having fear, what will happen? Is it okay if I say a wrong statement, wrong sentence, and maybe people will start laughing, or maybe the person with whom I'm trying to communicate, he will feel that, oh my God, he is not knowledgeable. So that kind of a fear automatically comes. And that's why even I may know the sentence which I am going to tell you, it's okay. But the moment I'll start conversation, I start fumbling. I fall short of words. So that kind of a thing happen. It comes from the fear only. It comes from the low confidence level. Nothing else. It's not that I'm lacking knowledge. Yeah, I'm knowledgeable. It is maybe quite a few people are there. Their writing skill are so strong, but when they are going to talk, it becomes very problematic. Even in you talk to a child and you tell them you write a letter, they will immediately they will write letters. But when you tell you talk about this topic for 2-3 minutes, they will fumble. So this comes from the fear only. And definitely it can overcome. It can overcome with the practice that if you want, definitely can help you out.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Sachin. I totally agree with the facts you've discussed. And who do you think is responsible in building confidence among children to speak fluent, to become fluent in speaking English?
See, that responsibility is mine. It's mine in the sense, if I am the child, it's my responsibility that I have to learn. But as because they are child, the first responsibility definitely comes to the teachers, because most of the time they are in the school. So the teacher has to make them understand, say, you don't fear, you don't scare. This is another language. So you have to only try. And the second thing, when they are going back home, their parents also has to encourage them so that they can practice this proper English with them. Like if instead of telling their mother, bring food in their language, instead of that, if he or she can use a small words, I'm hungry, can you please bring me food? So this is a small practice which they can do in the home. And definitely teachers are giving their lot of inputs and helps they are doing. But the small things, if they start practicing with their parents or maybe with their friends, they can overcome this kind of a fear.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Now, grammar, pronunciation, active listening, lack of stage fear, like all these are discussed as significant elements when it comes to speaking English. Do you really think that they matters a lot?
See, first of all, if the person is very confident, it doesn't actually matter what you are talking. Actually, in spoken English, it's matter what you are trying to convey and the other person is able to understand or not. It's not written English that you have to have a proper grammar. Okay. But yeah, punctuation is must, because I am talking to you without any punctuation. In spoken English, punctuation is not visible. It's only what you can hear. Suppose I'm talking to you without any pause, and you will think, my God, either she is mad or she is breathless. So in the spoken English, we have to use the pause as punctuation. But that person who's using, or the child, they have to make them understand. We have to make them understand that you have to take pause properly, and that's the proper usage of punctuation in spoken English. And the stage fear, yeah, definitely stage fear. It's not only to the child, it happens with the adults also. Until unless we practice talking to on stage, we perform on stage, until unless doing that, it will not go. So it's not only for spoken English. Stage fear can happen in any age.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. How can speaking English lead to a child with a pleasing personality?
Can you come again, please?
Yeah. How can speaking English lead to a child with a pleasing personality?
Yeah, very good question. See, it is not that if the child will grow up only learning their mother tongue or the regional language, they will not be a smart enough guy. But thing is that when you are going for a better job or a corporate job or a business, you have to know proper English, and that will impact on your personality. You know, when you are confidently delivering a speech, the other person will definitely see through your body language, yeah, that person is quite smart, whether they are quite knowledgeable about the topic or not, but the personality and body language speaks a lot. So once he or she knows that, yeah, I can fluently talk in English, and the other person, whoever is asking any kind of a question, I have no issue, I can reply properly, so my confidence and my body language will definitely give an impact. So that will definitely help the child in future.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. How do you think you as a teacher can help children who are reluctant to talk in English?
See, as a teacher, I must say that we have lot of activities which we have to make them busy with that. Like what I do, I give some kind of exercises that you have to think in English and reply. Most of the time throughout the day we talk to ourselves only. 24/7 you are living with yourself, it's not with others. So with whom you are talking, mentally we talk to us only. So mentally when we are talking in our language, we don't talk in some other second language what we have taught, or maybe other language we have learned. So we talk in other our own regional language, our mother tongue. So instead of that, what I do, I say, think for 2 minutes in English and reply back me in English. That is one thing. Second thing, they are not listening musics or seeing TV cartoon, all these things. They are normally watch in their regional languages. Instead of that, they have to learn or listen the music or something like that in English, so that music everybody loves. The more they will listen, the more they will catch any wrong words which they are feeling this is a new word. They immediately should write that word, search the dictionary or Google, and write the meaning of that. They may not know how to implement that word in future, but that they can ask the teacher, say, sir or madam, I have learned this new word, how I can apply this in future. So that is a new word which they can learn. So what I do, I give them an exercise. Next 10 days you will give me 10 new words. How they can give? They can read the books, they can read even the cartoon books, comic books, read that, and give me 10 new words for next 10 days, so that in a month they can understand 10, 30 new words, the meaning and the implementation, like that. Then the fear of what kind of a fear we have, I do them standing in the mirror and start practicing. So when they are standing in front of the mirror, they are seeing another person, though that same person, it's me only. But I have to think the other person is standing in front of me and I'm trying to communicate. So this kind of activities I make them do, so that they also feel very happy and it does not make them bored.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. You discuss a lot of activities. Actually, some of these I've practiced myself as well when I was a kid, like thinking in English and standing in front of a mirror
Absolutely.
and talking to myself, and it has really worked for me. So I guess it will work for the children as well. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that knowledge.
Thank
The
you.
next question is what do you suggest to encourage children's English language usage?
First of all, you can tell them to write articles. We can publish few books for them. Like maybe you can take the initiative for writing, so that they can write maybe 2, 3 pages, and maybe 10, 15 students they writing, you can publish a book, and then tell them to take them to a stage and give them some kind of a prize, and then you can tell them, you talk about your topic. So what they will say, oh my god, at this age I have become author. So that's a great thing. I have become author. I am standing on the stage. I am taking the prize. And it's a huge thing. So we can tell them, once you will learn English, you have this kind of opportunity. So that's the very good practice to motivate them. And the more they will see, oh my God, the other student is doing that and I can't, why I can't. So we can tell them, yeah, you can. This time they have done this. Next time it is your turn, you can do it. So you can learn English, you can do this. The stage fear can go away. The written English along with spoken English can, sharpen more. So this kind of activity can, make them very, very, what should I say, encouraged.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. What are the best practices we can learn from India, like from your country, to enhance the level of the English speaking among your children?
First of all, in India, nowadays, there are a lot of English medium corporate schools. And most of the cases, students are going to that school. Even in regional schools also, the second language is English. That is a mandatory thing, So when the second language also in English, the practices in school become very normal. It's not like, it's not Hindi or some other. So they have to practice. This is first thing. Second thing, lot of activities, the way I have told you, we have lot of activities with the children. We keep them busy with their kind of activities and they get motivated automatically. So this kind of a motivation, they help them grow in life. If they see at the age of 6 or 7, if we can't even imagine a child at the age of 7 or 8, they are writing something and that is getting published in book. But we have our, kids author. We have kids author almost more than 50, and we have published a book also last year with this kids author. The age group is from 8 to 18. So imagine the 8 years old child, he is writing an article and that is getting published in the book. So how much motivation comes from this kind of activities? So the other children will automatically get motivated and they will also start practicing this.
Yeah. Last but not least, I would like to discuss a bit about the best practices in the world. Like, what are the best practices by European countries, that they are using? I mean, not for English, because English is obviously their mother tongue. So when it comes to this, I mean, for teaching their second languages, maybe French, maybe German, like what are the best practices you think?
Ma'am, actually, in Europe is not the first language English. In Europe, normally people doesn't like to talk in English. They are like us literally. They normally use their own language. Okay, you go to Spain, they use Spanish. You go to Germany, they use Germany. You go to France, they will use French, something like that. For them, English is an official language for a few areas, but English is a second language. So for them, they are also struggling learning English. It is, if you go to Spain, they don't like to speak English. They are very comfortable talking to their language. And when you talk to English, they search English, Spanish to English dictionary and answer you back. It's something like that. So their English is very poor, but yeah, they are also trying to improve, especially for the kids and children. They are trying to improve a lot. They are also having a lot of activities, mental game. I have seen that they are having some kind of a mental game. They are having small groups and some kind of activities which can motivate the child. So this is a thing happening in Europe. But other countries, where official language is English and their mother tongue is also English, they are learning since their child, birth. It is their mother tongue, so it is not at all problematic for them.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I guess with that we can wind up the session. So I'm taking this an opportunity to thank the Honorable Minister, Mr. Dinesh Gunawardena, once again. Mr. Dinesh Gunawardena, Honorable Minister of Education, Sri Lanka, for the continuous support and guidance. And Mr. Janaka Kamalgoda, President of South Asian International Association for ECCD, for being the backbone of everything. And thank you very much, Ms. Archana Bowman from India, for sharing the knowledge and experience. It was such an interesting discussion, and even I learned a lot of fresh ideas. I hope we can have many more sessions like this in going forward. So once again, I would like to remind all of you about the summit to be planned in June. So I hope you all will give your fullest cooperation for us to have a fruitful event in June. So with that, I would like to wind up the session. Thank you very much once again for your time and for your effort.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Yeah, more power to you. Thank you so much.